Okay, so now I'm gonna pre-close. Okay, this is the most important part. So I'll pull this up and I'll like kind of stop. Like, okay, I think we covered the main points. Did anything not make sense to you at this point? Did you have anything else come up at this point? So this is another temperature check, a very important one. Cool. Yeah, we covered everything. We're not missing anything, so seems pretty good. Seems like your house would be a good fit. So I'll pull up the part you want to see here. I'll show you the report, show you the numbers and everything. And then we've got an awesome incentive right now for at least getting your account moving forward in the right direction. So I'll kind of show you what that looks like, show you your tax credit, and then we'll set up this free roof inspection. So in order to do that, we get you pre-approved for the financing. It's just a soft credit check, so no worries there. And then we'll have you approve a form I'll help you with that is just going to prove to corporate that I showed you the information today. It's going to cover my guy's liability for coming out to the house. And it's going to have your system details in there. It's going to say we have to produce a final design to you. So we'll go through that together, and then we'll schedule your roof inspection. So if everything works out like I just kind of explained it with the numbers, is there any other reasons you guys wouldn't go solar? Okay, great. If everything works out like I'm saying it does, and the numbers check out, any other reason you wouldn't go solar? So I say that a lot, or I'll just say, so we'll get you set up for this free roof inspection. As long as the numbers look good, that sounds fair to you, right? Okay. So I pre-close. So I'm getting a verbal agreement to move forward.
Come on, guys, give him an objection.
I don't like the haircut.
I'd be like, dang.
Well, we aren't signing anything today, just so you know.
We're not fast decision makers.
You need to think about it.
I forgot I gotta take my kid to soccer right now.
Okay.
Sorry, man.
I'll be back. Wait, what time you guys get home?
I don't know yet.
Yeah.
No, seriously, what would you say? We're not gonna sign anything today, just so you know.
So yeah, like, if they're not showing buying signs earlier, then I'll like feel that. I'll be able to feel that.
Of course.
So I'll either pull it back and go for a two-touch, or just try to uncover any other hesitations. So, but it does happen sometimes when I get to this point, I try to pre-close, and then they say no, like I can't pre-close it. Yeah.
Do you just cover all objections, so by the time you ask for the sale, there's no issues?
Yeah.
Is that the deal? Okay.
Yeah, the better you can, this is where the sale is made, right? Through this, selling the idea of solar. But yeah, you still get, we're not signing it today, well, we're not ready to commit today. Hey, I get it.
Can you walk me through how you uncover those doubts?
So it's just like their body language, okay? You can see them like getting nervous and like kind of shutting down.
Yeah.
Not talking a lot. They're like, they don't want to be sold. They don't want to make a decision right now. And I can see that in their face. They're telling me loud and clear, like just in their body language.
Yeah.
So if I'm not getting head nods at every point, and it's not a natural conversation to where they're comfortable saying what's on their mind,
Yeah.
I need to hear that from people, okay? So if it doesn't feel like a natural conversation, if it feels like me just pitching, then it's gonna be really tough to close them. So I'll totally stop. This is when I'll do a perimeter walk around, okay?
Okay.
So that's a great tool to use. Hey, where's your electric panel? Let's go take a look real quick. Hey, I wanted to look at this part of your roof over there really quick. I'll get them up from the table, do a walk around. Hopefully they open up. It works a lot where they just open up way more after that.
Yeah.
So just with experience, you're gonna get better at feeling about the situation. But it still happens to me where I think it's going great and I get to this point and they're like, Yeah, we're not ready to commit today, like, okay. Yeah, no problem at all. Is there anything I said that you didn't like? Like, what's the least favorite part of what I've told you so far? You're like, we just don't make decisions. Hey, I get it. So, if I can save you money up front in the long run, get you a tax credit and lock in your electric payment, then you guys would be in the ball game, right? You'd be strongly considering solar, right? Is that right? Yep. So I try to get a yes. So, great. Well, look, I don't need a final answer today. I'm going to show you the benefits. We do have an incentive for you to get the account moving in the right direction today. I'll show that to you, and then we'll get you on the schedule for that inspection. And then once again, I will come back over after that inspection to see if you have any more questions before we start pulling permits. Does that sound fair? Okay, so that's my only soft close. If you gotta soften it up any more than that, the booking is gonna cancel. Okay, so you can soften it up to that level, and that's it. Do not soften it up further than that. I'm asking you, please stop booking if you gotta soften it up. This is what I'm directly asking you. Tim, please tell Tim. Freaking 30 bookings a week, Tim. Yeah, because if you soften it up that much, we come and do a site survey, and then they cancel, the company just lost a lot of money. Let's please avoid that, okay? So that is literally how I do it, and then there are several situations where they still back out when they see the install agreement. That's okay. Like, I've got a phone call with them, or I'm coming back by the next day, the next 2 days, within the next 48 hours. I'm getting a final answer from them. Usually it's a text the next morning, and I sign them up on text. Here's a credit link, fill this out, please. And like, I'd book them over text. I would much rather you do that, okay? That's how you're gonna get your booking to FTC percentage from 30% to 60%. You're gonna book a little less, you're gonna pull through a lot more. Because there's a lot of situations where you softened up the booking because they aren't comfortable with moving the next step, then you just lost them. Whereas if they talked about it themselves and they didn't commit to the site survey, they could have convinced themselves, right? So that's like the fine balance I want you guys to really work on. Eric? Make sense?
Yep.
You're killing it with the pull through, so not major changes from you. But now notice, I did not bring up canceling. Please do not bring up the 10-day or 3-day. Do not bring up the word cancel. Do not say it. Don't bring up there's a cancel window. Do not ever say you can sign now and cancel later. Do not do that, because they're going to cancel. I literally say, hey, look, I don't need a final answer today. As long as you get your account moving in the right direction, we have a really good incentive for you. I'll show you that here when I show you your report. And then we'll get you set up for this roof inspection. It's free. We'll set up a time for me to come back by with your final design. We'll see if you guys have any more questions at that point before we start pulling permits. Does that sound fair? That's the close, okay? That is, you're softening up a little bit. You're not bringing up cancel. They're breaking by under pressure a little bit. They're ready to move forward. Valerie, did you have a question?
They mentioned it on the welcome call, so I'm like, even if you know.
Exactly. It's on the welcome call. Let the welcome call talk about it. It's not my job.
I like it because you go from a soft close to something that's clearly assumptive.
Yeah.
On purpose.
Yeah, like, hey, I get it. Again, it's back to, this is really the part, what I'm talking about when I say that, this is what I'm telling them. I'm not here to sell you. I'm here to show you the process. You can trust me to recommend you move forward now or not. Either is okay. Let's work together to figure out what's best for you. Okay? I'm recommending that you guys move forward because this is going to put you in a better situation. You guys, I get it. You want to talk about it on your own. I totally get it. That's fine. Let's at least get you set up for this. I'm going to show you that we're gonna pay you for that, because I pay Blue Power Plus every single time. Yeah, so that's kind of what I'm saying here. Yeah, so that's pre-close. Very, very, very important, okay? There's not a lot of times where I'm showing price and then they say, I need to think about it. It's I'm showing price, running credit, and then, yeah, there's still 20% of the time where I gotta kind of help them through the install agreement, or they might actually back out at that point, and then I'm texting him, I'm doing a booking the next day with him over the phone. Okay, that happens too, but that's it. You guys know how to, and then it's 5 minutes on the proposal. Here's where your panels are gonna go. You get a free monitoring app, will help you get that set up. Here's your monthly payment. So then I sell them on the monthly payment. This is what your monthly payment would be. Here's what your tax credit is. Gary's the best at selling the tax credit. Use that strategy. Sell the crap out of the tax credit. And then you can kind of make a recommendation on what they do with the tax credit. Start getting them to spend the money on the tax credit. Guess what? You have a whole 18 months to figure out what you want to do with your tax credit. You don't have to decide today. Okay, and then best case scenario, when I'm on hold on the welcome call and they're pulling up the schedule for the site survey, that's the first time I mentioned 18 months free. Best scenario. So they agreed to that monthly payment, and I said, oh, by the way, that incentive I mentioned earlier, I forgot to tell you this. You guys just made $3,000. High five. That's literally what I do. So they don't even know they're getting 18 months free until we're on hold for the welcome call. That's the best situation possible, okay? The one that happens a lot as well is they are still giving me I need to think about it, I need to talk about it, etc. Now I'm using the 18 months free to overcome that. So it's before the welcome call. It's like, hey, I get it. So if you look at our calendar in Minneapolis, there's 30 of us out here running 15, 20 appointments a week. Our demand is through the roof. It's crazy to even try to keep up with the demand for solar here. So I absolutely can follow up with you, whether it's 2 days, 2 weeks, next year. I'd love to be the one to help you to go solar. But time is money. At the end of the day, that's what it is. So we actually have a huge incentive for people who get their account moving forward right now, and that's we're going to cover your first 18 payments for you. So you guys are going to save, and then you can whip out the 3-year math. You guys all know the trick. Then you can do the 3-year math. Then go back for the close. So in order to get that, got to get you on the schedule for the site survey. Once again, I'll come back over for the final design appointment. We'll see if you have any more questions before we start pulling permits. Sound fair? It's right back into the close. Okay. Okay.